Step back into the late 1960s, a golden age of American ambition where the highways were wide, the fuel was cheap, and the cars were titans of steel and chrome. In the fiercely contested battle for personal luxury supremacy, two champions stood. Above all others, from one corner, the Cadillac Eldorado, a vision of the future with its sharp knife-edge styling and advanced front-wheel drive technology. And from the other, the Lincoln Continental Mark III, a rolling monument to traditional opulence, channeling the grandeur of classic Rolls-Royces. The Mark III Coupe was a staggering success, but behind the scenes, a tantalizing question lingered. What if this icon of personal luxury had 4 doors? This is the story of that question, of the legendary rivalry it was born from, and of the almost mythical, one-of-a-kind 4-door unicorn that proved such a dream could be made real. An empire of excess. The golden age of American luxury. To understand a car like the 1969 Lincoln Continental Mark III, one must first transport themselves back in time. The late 1960s were the zenith of a uniquely American brand of optimism. The nation was a global economic powerhouse, fuel was cheap, and the open road was a symbol of freedom and prosperity. In the automotive world, this translated into an era of glorious, unapologetic excess. This was a time before the looming shadows of oil crises, emissions regulations, and safety bumpers would forever alter the landscape. It was the golden age of the American automobile, and nowhere was this more apparent than in the fiercely competitive personal luxury car segment. This market was a battlefield for the hearts, minds, and wallets of America's affluent buyers. It was a segment defined not by practicality, but by pure style, comfort, and statement. It was pioneered by the Ford Thunderbird and challenged by the Buick Riviera and Oldsmobile Toronado. But by the late 1960s, the war for dominance was being waged by two titans, General Motors' Cadillac Eldorado and Ford's Lincoln Continental Mark III. These weren't just cars. They were rolling declarations of success, crafted from acres of sheet metal, powered by colossal V8 engines, and appointed with every conceivable luxury. The Phoenix from Dearborn, rebirth of the Mark. The story of the Mark III is one of resurrection. Its namesake, the 1956-57 Continental Mark II, was a hand-built masterpiece, a car of such exquisite quality and design that it remains a benchmark to this day. It was also a catastrophic financial failure for Ford, losing thousands on every car sold. The Mark nameplate lay dormant for a decade, too prestigious to abandon, but too costly to repeat. Enter Lee Iacocca, Ford's ambitious and visionary executive. Iacocca saw a path to reviving the legendary Mark name without bankrupting the company. His genius was in platform sharing. He decreed that the new Mark III would be built upon the chassis of the 4-door Ford Thunderbird. This decision provided a proven cost-effective foundation, allowing the team to focus their budget on what mattered most in the personal luxury segment, styling and features. Create a car that looked like $1 million. The Mark III was a masterpiece of proportion. It embodied the long hood, short deck design ethos, giving it a powerful, athletic stance despite its immense size. The styling was dripping with neoclassical elegance. A tall Rolls-Royce-inspired chrome grille gave it an imposing face, while the rear featured a distinctive hump on the trunk lid, a stylized homage to the external spare tires of classic cars, which quickly became known as the Mark of the Mark. Inside, it was a sanctuary of soft leather, genuine wood trim, and deep pile carpeting, designed to isolate its occupants from the outside world in near total silence. Powering this 5,000-pound beast was Ford's new 460 cubic inch 7.5-liter V8 engine, producing a formidable 365 horsepower and a mountain of torque, making the Mark III effortlessly potent. The strategy was a resounding success. The Mark III hit showrooms in 1968 as a 1969 model and became a runaway smash hit. It outsold the original Continental and the legendary Mark II combined before the calendar year was even over. And most importantly, it bested its arch rival, the Cadillac Eldorado, by a stunning 20%. Lincoln had a winner, a car that perfectly captured the zeitgeist of the era. The four-door Enigma, a car for the deuce. With coupes flying out of showrooms, the question naturally arose within the halls of Ford. Could they have moved even more? Meddle with a four-door version? While a sedan might seem antithetical to the personal luxury coupe concept, the sheer demand for the Mark III style made it a tantalizing possibility. An early design prototype based on a reskinned Thunderbird was considered but ultimately shot down. However, whispers persisted of another true Mark III four-door, a secret project rumored to have been built for the ultimate VIP, Henry Ford. Tour, known affectionately and fearfully as Hank the Deuce, the grandson of the company founder, was a man of immense power and particular tastes, known for commissioning special one-off vehicles. While little is concretely known about this car and its ultimate fate, the very existence of the rumor adds a layer of mystique to the Mark III legend. The Herman Commission, a unicorn made real. Word of a possible four-door Mark III may have leaked out from Dearborn's inner sanctum, because it reached the ears of a man with the influence and means to make such a dream a reality. Grover Herman, the powerful head of the Martin Marietta Corporation. Herman, a titan of the aerospace and construction materials industries, contacted Ford directly with an audacious request. He wanted a four-door Continental Mark III of his own. Ford, not equipped for such extensive one-off coach work, outsourced the project to the absolute best in the business, a collaboration between Chicago-based Lehman Peterson and Maloney Coachworks. These were not mere custom shops. They were world-renowned artisans responsible for building official presidential limousines and other highly specialized vehicles for heads of state and industry. The task was monumental. The team took a standard Mark III coupe and began the painstaking process of transformation. The body and frame were carefully stretched by 7.3 inches, an engineering challenge that required immense skill to execute without compromising the structural rigidity of the unibody platform. The true centerpiece of the conversion was the addition of rear-hinged suicide doors, custom fitted to integrate seamlessly with the car's flowing lines. This added over 700 pounds to the car's already substantial weight. The cost for this singular creation in 1969 was a staggering $13,325. To put that into perspective, a standard lavishly equipped Mark III coupe cost around $7,000. For the price of the Herman Commission, one could have purchased two Mark III coupes or a very comfortable suburban home. The result, however, was a masterpiece. It was a vehicle that retained the stunning style of the coupe, but added the gravitas and practicality of a four-door sedan, creating a vehicle of unparalleled presence. The current owner, Phil G.D. Schaefer, who has lovingly preserved this unique piece of history, reports that despite the extensive modifications, the body remains as tight, solid, and quiet as a factory coupe, a powerful testament to the incredible craftsmanship of the Lehman Peterson and Maloney coach builders. Kings of the Hill, an owner's perspective. To truly appreciate these cars, you have to ask the guys who own them. Mortgage broker Sandy Edelstein and automotive product specialist Scott King are collectors who own both a 1969 Continental Mark III and its rival, the Cadillac Eldorado. We both grew up around Cadillacs, and the cutting-edge style of the first-gen front-drive Eldorado really imprinted on us, they note. The Lincoln was irresistibly gorgeous, and with the ultra-rare steel top, it seemed the perfect match for our Eldorado. Their perspective highlights the core of the rivalry. The Eldorado was a technological and stylistic trailblazer. With its front-wheel drive layout and sharp crease styling, it looked like it had driven out of the future. The Continental Mark III, conversely, was a deliberate look back. It aimed to recapture the sheer opulence, imposing presence, and bank vault. Build quality of the revered Mark II. The debate over which was superior raged then, and it rages now. A 1970 Motor Trend review, quoted by Bill Sanders, attempted to settle the score. The Eldorado has a lot of seemingly more advanced technical conveniences, but from a strictly plush, posh luxury standpoint, the Mark III has the intimacy a car like this should offer. This captures the essence of the Lincoln's appeal. It wasn't about being the most advanced. It was about being the most luxurious, the most comfortable, the most isolating and intimate personal sanctuary on wheels. A verdict frozen in time. So who was the true king of the hill? In the end, there is no definitive answer. It comes down to a matter of taste. Cadillac's forward-looking high-tech futurism versus Lincoln's timeless, traditional, and unapologetic opulence. What is certain is that these cars represent a moment in time that can never be replicated. They were born in that perfect window of the golden age, after the popularization of crucial modern features like automatic air conditioning and power disc brakes, but before the industry was hamstrung by regulations that would strangle engines and dictate design. No future car, beholden to aerodynamics, crash standards, and efficiency, can ever hope to achieve the same kind of audacious style and sheer panache. They are artifacts from an empire of excess, glorious metal dinosaurs from a bygone era, and among them, the unique Coachbuilt four-door Grover Herman Continental Mark III stands as the rarest of them all, a true unicorn from Dearborn, and a rolling testament to a time when if you were powerful enough, you could have your automotive dream made real. In the end, the debate over which car was truly king of the hill will never be settled, because the Lincoln Continental Mark III and the Cadillac Eldorado represented two fundamentally different yet equally valid philosophies of luxury. It was a choice between Cadillac's daring futuristic vision and Lincoln's profound intimate comfort. More than just a rivalry, these cars serve as a magnificent time capsule from an unrepeatable era, a moment sealed in time before safety and emissions regulations would forever change automotive design. The singular Coachbuilt four-door Mark. A third stands as the ultimate testament to that bygone age. It is more than just a rare car. It is a symbol of a time when a powerful individual could command a corporate giant to build a unique dream, a monument to the audacious spirit and artisanal craftsmanship that defined the peak of American automotive luxury.